The concept of a Cold War is not new to the world. It has been a part of the global landscape for decades, with the most famous example being the period of intense geopolitical rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union during the 20th century. However, as the world moves into the 21st century, it is becoming increasingly clear that another Cold War is upon us, this time between China and the West, and that we have always been in a Cold War with China. The history of China's relationship with the West is a complex and contentious one, marked by periods of cooperation and conflict. From the Opium Wars of the 19th century to the Boxer Rebellion, the Communist Revolution and the Tiananmen Square Massacre, China's interactions with the West have been fraught with tension and mistrust. However, the current Cold War between China and the West has its roots in China's rapid economic and military rise over the past few decades. China's ascent has led to a growing sense of anxiety and insecurity among Western powers, who fear that China's rise could threaten their economic, political and military interests. This anxiety has been exacerbated by China's increasingly assertive foreign policy, which has seen it assert its influence in the Asia-Pacific region and beyond. One of the key features of the new Cold War between China and the West is the competition for influence in the developing world. China's Belt and Road Initiative, which aims to build infrastructure and expand trade ties across Asia, Africa, and Europe, has been seen as a challenge to Western influence in these regions. This has led to a growing sense of rivalry between China and the West, with both sides seeking to win over developing countries through economic, political and diplomatic means. Another key feature of the new Cold War is the competition for technological dominance. China's rapid development of advanced technologies such as 5G, artificial intelligence and quantum computing has raised concerns in the West about the security implications of China's growing technological prowess. This has led to growing efforts by Western powers to restrict China's access to sensitive technologies, and to develop their own technological capabilities to counter China's advances. In conclusion, while the current Cold War between China and the West may not be as overtly confrontational as the one between the US and the Soviet Union, it is clear that we have always been in a Cold War with China. The history of China's relationship with the West, marked by periods of cooperation and conflict, has led to a growing sense of anxiety and insecurity among Western powers, who fear that China's rise could threaten their interests. The competition for influence in the developing world and the race for technological dominance are just two examples of the many fronts on which this Cold War is being fought. As such, it is important for Western powers to recognize the nature of this new Cold War and to develop strategies for dealing with it effectively.